Stronghold SHX is an ISO 20022 compliant token that Ripple has been hiding from you. As you can see here, they have ties to Stellar, Ripple, and IBM. And also what they are solving is the ACH problem, streamlining payments. They are going to be a major part of this new financial infrastructure. You don't want to miss it. Stick around to learn more. Okay, before we dive into Stronghold SHX, as always on this channel, I'd love to give credit where credit is due and being transparent. So right over here, you will see that this is Crypto Canvas. He is the person that really brought SHX to light. So if you like this information and you want to learn more, that is the guy to go to. Give him credit, give him a like, give him a subscribe. Great dude to follow. Okay, so what are we talking about when we're talking about SHX Stronghold? Before we dive into that, we must know a little bit about the co-founders. So let's dive into the history of the co-founders to get a better understanding of where we're going to be going with Stronghold. So right here from their website, you'll see Stronghold's co-founders, Tammy Camp and Shawn Bennett, discovered they shared a vision to build a more inclusive, stable, and connected global economy back in 2014. Through work on the Stellar platform. The concept of financial inclusion had less recognition then, but Camp and Bennett both held the belief that financial access should be a basic human right like food, health care, and water. Each of their personal histories had helped shape this value. Okay, so that's kind of their backstory and how they met. Let's learn a little bit more about them. It says Bennett became curious about the blockchain and soon redirected his mental energy toward building a gateway on Ripple. That's the first connection. Within hours after the Stellar platform went live, Bennett had launched its first anchor, the CoinEx gateway. Within 4 months of going live, Camp, as Stellar's head of growth, had surpassed the platform's capabilities with 4 million users. He could express value as code. She could transform tech visions into reality. So that is the co-founders of SHX Stronghold. Amazing backgrounds and amazing abilities there. But now let's go a little bit further and go back into the slide that we saw at the intro of the video and dive into that a little bit more. So this is from Crypto Canvas. It's off of his channel. I did snip it. So again, full credit to him. And Andrew, if you happen to see this, I tried to make you as handsome as possible down here in this corner. But as if that wasn't possible, right? All right, let's dive into it. So Jeb McCaleb, we'll start with him. So as we know, Jeb McCaleb co-founded Ripple in 2012 and then also co-founded Stellar in 2014. And then he handpicked Tammy Camp as first head of growth at Stellar, as you see down here. And now she's connected with Stellar. But she is now also with Stronghold. You understand how that flows so far, okay? Now let's look at Shawn Bennett. Shawn Bennett in 2013 began building first stablecoin on the XRP ledger. He was one of the first creators of a stablecoin back in 2013 with Ripple. Huge connections here. And then also working with Stellar on the Stellar network, of course. He says 2014, Shawn became the first developer on Stellar. So Shawn is a legend in the crypto community, and you probably haven't heard his name very much, I bet. And then also, as you know now, in 2017, co-founder of Stronghold SHX, and then also Stronghold worked with IBM. So in 2018, IBM was Stronghold's first client, provided the tech for IBM stablecoin. What's important about that is that you know that IBM is working with the Federal Reserve on their FedNow. So IBM and FedNow are working together for their blockchain technology through FedWire, okay, and FedNow. So that all comes together. So now let's go a little bit further and see what they offer. So this is actually back in 2019. The Stronghold platform integrates with Interledger Payments Protocol. So that would be ILP. You'll hear that as a term, which is this Interledger Protocol, which is important because that's how you connect these different networks together. Okay, that is huge, and this is back in 2019. So Shawn Bennett has been a revolutionary player of crypto community. He is setting a lot of the standards with major names. So he being tied with Stronghold as a co-founder, you know Stronghold is going to go somewhere. Then also having ties with Jed McCaleb from Ripple and Stellar, that is huge. So this is why Stronghold is a really hidden secret that Ripple doesn't really talk much about, but they will be working together in the future, if not already right now, you know? So what is SHX Stronghold trying to solve? What are they going to provide? Here's a simple breakdown to show you. Basically, SHX is going to be working with merchants for rewards and payments, for developers like API integration. So API, again, we spoke in my previous video, that is essentially going to be the rails in which the ISO 20022 messaging system will run, very much like a power line. Think of it that way just to simplify it, okay? Which is huge because that is what you need to make all these networks interoperable, and they all have that capability already. And then liquidity providers, funding and settlement, very much like the XRP token, it is a liquidity provider. So they are very similar in how they operate. And again, having the ties to the Stellar network, which Stellar XLM, this thing is connected everywhere. So you have Ripple, Stellar, SHX, all working together in the same ecosystem, essentially, okay? That is huge. But what are they doing with these payments, and what are they replacing, or what are they helping? Why do we need it is the question you should ask yourself about this project. Well, if you don't know what an ACH is, it's an automated clearinghouse. So right now, if you send payments, around the world, or even if you're using your bank app, you'll see that it takes 3 to 5 days to process, especially if you are making a payment on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. As you'll notice, it doesn't automatically get deducted from your bank account. It just will say processing. That's processing because it is going through the automated clearinghouse. But to give you a visual how this works, you'll see right here on your screen, how does ACH work? Essentially, the sender registers with a routing number and account number. They send it over to the bank. The bank then goes to the clearinghouse. The clearinghouse sends it to the other bank, to the other side of the receiver. So this is what takes so long for you to get your money, is because it goes through a stream of banks and finally settles, and they have to make sure everything is on the up and up before they give you those funds. That costs you money because you are paying these inside middleman banks to receive those payments. Now, where Stronghold comes in is they are bypassing that and giving you more of a direct payment, very much like XRP offers and a lot of these other projects do. And this is what a stablecoin is doing. It bypasses all this because it has all the information it needs and has all the validation it needs through the ISO 20022 messaging system. I won't go too much in that tech side, but understand that's how that all ties in. Okay, hopefully you're following along with me. But now let's look at the price action of Stronghold SHX, because if you made it this far in, you might be interested in the price. So check it out right here from CoinMarketCap. As you see, SHX is still a very cheap project right now, sitting at a penny, right? It's very cheap right now. So it is a coin that you can load up on if you don't have a lot of money to dump in the market. Let me say this, though. It is not financial advice by any means. I'm just giving you this information for you then to go do your own research. As always, my research is down in my description, so you can use my sources to start from there and build your own education on this project. So don't take this as financial advice, please. But let's look at what's going on. We have the market cap at 85.19 million. Then in the last 24 hours, we saw a volume of 882.59 thousand. But the fully diluted value is 1.47 billion with a max supply of 100 billion SHX tokens. You'll see through the price action, it is a very volatile token. It is a very volatile project. And this is the 7-day, this is the monthly, and this is the yearly. And then we'll look at the all-time, and you'll see that these come in waves and in spikes. I like volatility in my projects because to me that means there are institutions that are wanting this, because something like SHX that's not really readily known, especially when you look at the holders, there's only 12.96 thousand people holding or wallets holding SHX. So to provide that kind of volatility, that takes a lot of liquidity. So I hope you follow along with that. So that sparks my interest personally. So if you are interested in looking into SHX and you're like, where can I find it? Anytime you go to CoinMarketCap, you pull up your project, you type it in the search bar, right? You can always scroll down to markets. So you can either hit the top button right here, it says markets, or in this case, it's right here. You can get it at Gate, MEXC, Stellar Term, Uniswap, etc. as you go down. That's where you can find this on exchanges. Uphold does offer it, and Crypto.com does offer it as well. But some of these platforms, you're not really getting the true asset. So do your research on who you buy it from. Crypto.com is always a great source, in my opinion. Okay, so that's where we're at as far as the price action, who they are, who they're working with, and how are they founded. But we spoke about the ISO 20022 connection. This is going to blow your mind when you hear from Tammy Camp herself talking about the ISO 20022 connection, because they did something massive that is not getting spoken much about. And this is why I'm a strong believer personally in SHX, okay? I hope it plays the whole audio, but there is a little bit of music in the background. So if YouTube silences that music, I do have the captions for you to read. This video is about a minute long. Don't go anywhere because she gives you a lot of deep information here about their background and their connection with ISO 20022. So go ahead and check it out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Faster, but smarter. That world starts today with Stronghold's groundbreaking move, our acquisition of 20022 Labs. Hi everyone, I'm Tammy Camp, CEO of Stronghold. 20022 Labs is not just any company. They are pioneers in the ISO 20022 standard, a global framework that is reshaping how financial messages are processed worldwide. This acquisition is designed to integrate and leverage 20022 Labs' extensive knowledge in research in financial messaging standards. It will enhance the functionality of our payments platform and our expansive network, StrongholdNet. For our customers and partners, these enhancements will streamline financial operations and introduce a new level of efficiency and interoperability in our financial services. With ISO 20022, we can now process transactions that not only move money, but also convey complete and precise data about those transactions. This reduces the need for manual intervention, drastically reduces errors, and lowers operational costs. For our customers, this means faster, clearer, and more reliable financial transactions.
Okay, so directly from Tammy herself, you see that they bought ISO 20022 Labs, the person that created the ISO 20022 messaging system. So when you hear ISO, that is a part of a governmental body that oversees all that information. The 20022 is the actual messaging system founded and developed by ISO 20022 Labs. So Stronghold bought them out and acquired them, and now they are the person really controlling the ISO 20022 messaging system through ISO 20022 Labs acquisition. That is huge in itself. And one of the reasons you don't hear a lot of information about something like SHX, because they don't want you to know about this, very much like how they keep you away from XRP as much as possible. So hopefully you found something in this video informative. And if you liked it, please go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, share it with a friend. I'd love to get this information out. The more you share it, the more people see it, the more videos I'll make if you liked it. So that's all I have for you on this episode. But please, as always, take care of yourself, take care of the people around you, and become the change you want to see in the world. I'll see you on the next one.